We were listening to Motown and playing Motown at the factory, and besides which, I would also play opera, classical opera, Maria Callas. I mean, we were just into whatever was great, and it's a product of a time of fusion, which I don't think anyone has any idea of what it was like anymore, because things are so delineated now. And there's no real great inspirational need to express a certain type of art form or whatever right now. Pretty much all the different arts are settled in their paces and pretty much commercially oriented too. I mean, there are people who are still generation after generation born of the avant-garde sensibility, but in the late 50s, early 60s, that was the mainspring culture in New York and in Germany too. It wasn't just New York, but specifically Germany, because Germany had all those cult cultures, like, beginning from Dada and the Blaureiter and the Stockhausen and all the other experimental composers. It was a hotbed over there too, and we interacted. But I think we won't have that type of cultural experience again, probably for a long time, not until it's needed, because it came out of after a dry spot of World War II and the communist scare in America. And it was just the Beats who started the Beat generation, the beatnik poets, who said, no, none of this stuff has any value. This government anti-communist, this, commercialism, new car, new refrigerator. There's something deeper in me that I need to express that has nothing to do with all those things. And that was when I first went to New York in the late 50s and met Andy in 59. But I met these people from Black Mountain College, and the guy who taught me how to do lighting design, Nick Cernovich, who was the lighting designer for Merce Cunningham and all the avant-garde dance companies. So I really learned from a master, who also knew how to stage and how to do sets and how you had to control and move people to make a production happen. It's like being an overall director. So I got this real great skill that I developed from working with those people, that I then, when I met Andy in the art world, we had known each other when I was younger, but when we re-met in the art world and he was becoming known, I had all of these skills that were available to allow him to be creative. He was great at the painting and silk screening situation, but as far as setting up sound systems or camera systems or light systems and all that, he was a total novice. And I had all those skills that we could just start doing things, and he could start learning what he wanted to do rather than having to master a lot of technical factors. Like we found out right away, he didn't want to do the hand-held sloppy movie. He wanted something much more concise and precise and portrait-like, and he was able to just find that stuff out. And the factory was this wonderful magic place. I had made like this great silver installation of aluminum foil and silver paint and spotlights, which would make settings for different types of filmmaking and lights for different areas of painting, which I did for him because he provided this arena for me to express all the talents that I had now, which I could only do otherwise in theater or in dance. But it was more a cooperative effort in theater and dance because you have to work with all these other crazy people, and the set designer has to compromise the color of his sets because they don't go with the gels and the lighting, so he has to change all those things. But I was the maestro at the factory and the creation of the factory, and making the silver installation as a place for Andy to work.